I'm about to get started. Welcome back to the show. Sorry, hold on. What? My controller disconnected. Okay, welcome back to the StarCast, everybody. Woo! This is episode 3. Still having some complications on some things. I wanted to do the PS4 tonight, but I think I gotta get an extra mic for it in order to get audio for my voice to do commentary and to get the audio from the game and all that stuff. And plus with my setup right now, I think it is a little bit weird. So I might have to change my setup again. We'll see. Either that or I just won't be streaming no PS4 games anytime soon. So that should be something to look forward to in the future. In the future, I mean like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. I really do want to stream some games from the PS4. But yeah, you know, what a day. I'm your host, K1 Star, and let me tell you, the PS5 dropped. Okay, the PS5 didn't drop, but the PS5 price dropped today. And hold on, let me know if your music is too loud or anything, because I'm trying something new. Background music, and I can hear it through my headphones. I just don't know how loud it is to you guys. If it is too loud or just right or too low or whatever. I just wanted some background sound throughout when I'm speaking, all that stuff, because I don't want it to be like super dry, no noise. I don't got no alerts on or anything like that. So yeah, but back to the PS5. The PS5 price got revealed today, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Xbox, their prices, and how it's going to compete with the PS5. We're also going to talk about the Nintendo Switch, because apparently they might be coming out with a Switch Pro, and it might be coming out with 4K too, or at least fake 4K, like upscale 4K. That's what they're probably going to try to do with it. So, let's get into it. Okay, the PS5. The PS5 dropped today. I keep saying drop. The PS5, it feels like it dropped the way everybody's been reacting. It's just like, oh shoot, it's here. The PS5 price got revealed today. The price got dropped today. The price and release date. So, let's go into... where should we start off at? Well, I guess we should just start off with the prices. There was a lot more to the press conference that they had today. It was they started the press conference at 4. Then of course they showed off a couple games, have that little build up and anticipation for the initial price reveal, which everybody was expecting. Price reveal and release date. So they had 2 editions. Let me bring up the article here real quick. All right, let me do this real quick. Actually, let me do this real quick. Now, I know it says pre-orders, but basically, here's the big thing. The PS5, shit, did I say the PS4? The PS5 got dropped today. I keep saying drop. The PS5 revealed its prices today, and the standard edition is going to be $499, which I think is a price everybody expected it anyways, because the initial price for, I think the highest PlayStation that ever sold was $600, and that got some bad rep. I mean, like $600 is really freaking steep, and I think shoot, at the time, even though at the time games weren't big, but I think that was like it was the PS3, and I think that version was probably like 512 gigabytes or something for that one. And then of course the $500 one was just a smaller storage, you know. And I think after that, following the PS4, I think the PS4 got released for $400, and I think that was like 400, and then they just released further prices after that. So they went back up a little bit this year, or this generation, with the game. It's $100 more. So $100 from the $400 price tag that the PS4 got released at. And let me just make sure. I got my information right. PS4 release price. Yep, it got released for $400. So the standard edition of the PS5 is $599, which I think everybody was expecting because the hardware that's going into it, it's way better hardware, and it's simply the company just gotta make more. There's more to it. It's more to the PS5. The huge jump that we got from 2013 to 2020 is just super dramatic in terms of just resolution, processing speed, storage. It's all incorporated. So I knew they wasn't going to sell the PS5 for lower, or the base PS5 with everything included. They wasn't going to sell it no less than $500. I think it would have been a stretch, and I'm talking about like literally everything included, or not everything included, but I guess the system and the controller, and then the specs inside the system. So they had the standard one for $500, and then this is the shocking one. They have the digital for $399. $399. That right there is a good ass price. I don't think anybody was expecting it to be that high. I mean, not that high, that low. Hey, what's up, man? I don't think anybody was expecting a PS5 to be that low in terms of for the digital edition. I initially thought it was going to be around just $50 cheaper. I don't think they was going to go too dramatic with it, and try to make some return on investment, especially during COVID times, because I know it's a little weird. They probably can't sell as many units, so I don't know if this was the initial price that they thought of, $399, but I was just thinking $449, only because one, you're just removing the optical drive, which I guess that's a lot, but we are moving to a digital age too, so it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But they know they can't sell the price of the system at $499, which is the same price as the standard edition, because if you're removing something from the system, so essentially you're taking away a component of the hardware, and it's not going to work out. You can just sell at the same price. The public ain't going to take it like that. So they removed the optical drive, and they made it $100 less, which was they're gonna make it up for games, yes. Which was kind of shocking. $100 cheaper is really sweet. I'm telling you, that's a really, really appealing deal. It's all digital, but we are in a digital streaming age. We're getting rid of most physical things, and I think they just went all in on this one. Like, let's sell it at a lower price, a good lower price, and you're getting the same. You're getting the same of everything. On both systems, $499, $399. You're getting the same thing. You just won't have a disc. You won't go out to the store to go get a disc. You won't order from Amazon to get a disc. All you gotta do is just download the game, and then you're right there playing. So that's a really good deal. That's a really, really good deal. It's actually probably the better deal than the $499 price, because at this point, if they're selling a PS5 for $499, and then the lower portion, $100 cheaper, but it does the same thing, it's kind of like it almost devalues the $499 asking price. So It's weird, but it's good. It's weird, but it's good because you have options. You have options. It's just depending on what your preference is and what you what you're looking for with your games. Essentially, it's kind of like, are you still in that nostalgia factor of I want to collect games and have it stacked up, pop it in whenever I want, because we did that with every other system before, and we're going to continue to do that in the future. I want to continue to do that in the future. What the future is now with this PS5, I'm going to keep putting in my disc. I still got Blu-rays I want to play, and the stream's 4K. My Blu-ray's 4K still, and that's been out for almost a decade now. I still want to do this stuff, and I won't mind paying the extra $100 for it. Now, the $399, that's just basically fuck all of that. I just want to play next gen. Like, I can stream in 4K. I don't need a 4K disc to essentially get 4K media. It's all built into the system. All I gotta do is just have a internet connection, and you're in. I just gotta pay for internet. You gotta pay for internet, but everybody pays for internet now. So that's a good price. $399. That's a great price. Like, I thought Xbox was really doing good this last couple of weeks with their leaks, and then initially announcing both the Xbox Giant, which I'm calling it, and the Xbox Mini, which I'm calling it. I'm not going to call it by official names because it's really, really dumb. And I got something, once I go to the Xbox, I got something to read to y'all, which is super confusing. But yeah, so $499, $399, and pre-orders are starting tomorrow, aka midnight. I think they're going to do something at midnight Eastern time, since that's going to be ahead of the head time first between Pacific time and whatever the other time is. No, I didn't hear about no Dreamcast 2. I doubt it. They're definitely not making no Dreamcast 2. But yeah, pre-orders start tomorrow, and the release dates is November 12th for US, Japan, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, and South Korea. The rest of the world is November 19th. So November is going to have the Xbox and the PS5, which we expected because that's around holiday season anyways. But that's going to be a hectic month right there, especially in the time we're in with COVID and everything. Everybody's been flocking to the games, because that's essentially, what else do you have to do? Because you're basically at home, or if you are working, you're working. But a lot of people at home are working anyways at home, so they're still at home. So a lot of people have been buying systems. PS4 has been sold out. The Switch has been sold out. I don't think the Xbox has been sold out, but I think a couple people probably picked up the Xbox too, just for the hell of it. So, November is going to be a big month. I mean, the world is open back up. A lot of places are open back up, but this COVID shit is still not under control. So I know this is going to be a big month in terms of just, I guess, for the economy, other companies like retailers that sell these, that's going to, distribute these, the PlayStation and the Xbox, it's going to be a big month for them. I know whatever happens tomorrow, like what it says here, tomorrow, I know there's going to be some shortages, some outages, or whatever you want to call it. Because I know I'm going to try to hop on it too. I'm going to be staring at my email, because I know I signed up for an email with Best Buy to try to get the pre-orders for both the PS5 and Xbox. And Xbox is next week. So I think the PS5 jumped on that too. Like they did a good job with that. Initially I thought they was probably going to be around the same time, maybe late September, early August, where they're going to announce pre-orders, but they said, nah, we doing it tomorrow. So shoot, that's crazy to me. That's really crazy. I know everybody's trying to get their money ready, make sure they because I'm doing it, try to make sure their budget is correct. Like, all right, we're gonna do this. Whoops, I think you guys saw that. We're gonna do this. We're gonna get this PlayStation because it's only gonna be a limited number of units. I don't know how many pre-orders they're gonna allow. I think they're gonna. I think the actual initial pre-orders will probably be the units that they have right now, and then once the launch dates actually release, I think those are going to be the extra units that they're making over at launch date. So I think all the pre-orders they have now is what they're just able to make during the COVID crisis. And then launch date is just going to be the extras left over where they just like, okay, here's what we was able to get at this certain time. You sell these, we not be able to refill it back until like maybe late December, which is closer to Christmas time. Here, we're going to be right back in stock. We ain't going to be no deals, of course. Because it'll be, it's a brand new system. They're not going to have deals, even though it's coming around holiday season, which is Black Friday and Christmas time. There's not going to be no deals, but they will release probably like the second batch of units around Christmas time. Because I don't think they're going to have too many. I think they said they're only shipping to like I know. Okay, so we look here. Even though it says US, Japan, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, when the initial date comes out, like this I think is just pre-orders. On this date, the rest of the world is not going to really be that many. Because I think the main places they're going to ship to is US and Japan. And then like the rest of the world is just like very, very limited. Because I know these are the biggest markets right here. And the most greedy, US, the most greedy market. But I don't think it's not gonna be that many units. Like I think tomorrow is gonna sell out fast. And I think they're gonna try to pump out as much as they can to just so most people can have one. Not everybody. It's definitely not going to be everybody, but most people can have it. And that's good. I'm just curious at how many of each specific system that they have, like depending on the $4.99 and $3.99, how many of each they have. Because I know a lot of people just gonna go for that $3.99 and not even care about the $4.99. Like that's how good of a deal that is. Because you're literally, like I said, you're literally getting the same thing, just all digital. So that's gonna be interesting. And if you're trying to get one, it's almost like the best bet is to try to get the $4.99 one, because the $3.99 might be gone. It might be gone. Even at launch, it's going to be gone. That's what everybody's probably going to be looking forward to, because it's basically you're getting a better version of the PS4 Pro, which is the same price. But speaking of that, if you're not looking to get into next gen, or you're going to wait a little bit, but you still want to get a new system, you want to still play some 4K games, when this stuff drops. Or I don't know, we might be able to see sales as soon as tomorrow, since the pre-order starts tomorrow. But when the PS5 drops, you can get that PS4 Pro for maybe like $300, $350. Since they being dramatic with $100 now, with between the $4.99 and $3.99 the PS5, they might drop the PS4 Pro, the 1 terabyte, to $300. There's no point in selling both. Well, there is a point, money, but it's no, in the market, especially the very own market, they're gonna make more of an income. Plus, the system been out for 4 years with the PS4 Pro. They'll make a better return investment if they drop the price for the PS4 Pro, and for the people who can't get the PS5, neither the digital or the standard, they have another option to still play games, which essentially is not next gen but close to next gen, or the closest we have to next gen. with the PS4 Pro. Or if they was looking to get a PS4 Pro, there's that option. They have to drop the price. That's what I'm saying. They gotta have to drop the price with that one. And bam, they're selling even more systems. They're selling their previous gen systems even more now, just because you're gonna have the market PS5 standard $499, regular $399, then PS4 Pro probably $299. And look, and I bet you that PS4 Pro, if they made more units of that shit's gonna be gone too. It's gonna be gone. Like that's they really hit it out the park. They showed off some games too today, and what they had. So the PS5 showed off some games. They had Devil May Cry, which I can't wait. But it's still Devil May Cry 5. They just added some extra features, maybe some extra stages for Virgil. They did a special edition before. Back with Devil May Cry 3, that's the first time they did it, and then they did it with Devil May Cry 4. They added extra couple characters, different movesets, kind of expand the game, try to replay it. So they're doing that again with Devil May Cry 5, and that was one of the best games of last year. So if you ever get a chance to play it and get a PS5, which I think they're only releasing it on PS5, definitely that should be one of the games you should first get. It was one of the best games of last year. They showed Demon Souls remake. That looked good. That really looked good. I don't know if you guys play any Souls or Soulsborne game. That's what they call them. But that Demon Souls remake looked really good. The details in that, and the frame rate. You see, I'm not a techie person, but that frame rate and the details, whatever that ray tracing, the power of the PS5 really showed in that trailer. Like that, the thing looked good. That might be a first day cop with that. What else? I said DMC5, Demon Souls. They showed Final Fantasy 6, and that looks like a good game too. It looks like they're following the route of Final Fantasy 15 mixed with the Final Fantasy 7 remake. And what's interesting about this trailer, the gameplay, the little bit of gameplay they showed looked kind of good, but it looked like this Final Fantasy got a little bit more violent. It was showing blood and everything. I ain't never seen that in no Final Fantasy game. So that was interesting to see. So there's 3 big games that Sony got right there. I believe all exclusive. Maybe not DMC5. I believe DMC5 came out for Xbox, but I think initially it's going to be exclusive to PS5 first. What else did they show today? They showed, they revealed God of War 2. One of the best games ever. One of the best games of last generation, probably the next generation too. They about to have a part 2 to that. I've been waiting on that. 3 years is kind of short. If that came out in 2018, 2021, that's a 3-year turnover from part 1 to 2. For a game like that. Now he's probably expected maybe like 4 years, probably 2022. But shoot, the fact that we got 3 years out of it, and now we already about to move into part 2 of God of War 2. Not part 2 of God of War 2. Well, it's all confused anyways, because it's like part 7 anyway. But we about to move into God of War 2 just next year. I don't know when, maybe holiday season next year, which, would make sense. They didn't have no trailer for it or anything. It was just a little teaser. So that should be good. That's a big reveal. Like, Sony really killed it today. They also showed off Resident Evil Village, which it's looking okay to me. I think it's probably going to be pretty decent. If it follows Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, I think it should be pretty decent. Just probably in a more expansive way, because you're in a village. You're not stuck in a house, basically. What else did they show off today? I think that was about it, or at least the most important things. yeah, that's about it. Going back to this article that I'm looking at the bottom. So, see right here, they're saying some games is going to be $6.99, $70. Godly. Yo, $70 in our generation or previous generation right now. That's for like special editions, like extra editions where you get extra DLC and stuff like that. That's about to be the standard of games. That's almost $100. This next gen gotta be worth it if we're about to pay almost $100 for a game right now. Like, that's crazy. And look at this. The DualSense controller is about to be $70 too. That's $6 up because the standard controllers right now for PS4 is $64. That's high. Both of those are high. That's crazy. But also another little fact on the PS5 is going to be backwards compatible and stuff, so you'll be able to play some previous games. But you know, I think what they're going to do is just keep releasing remasters and remakes like they always do, so you don't have to. I think that's the thing with backwards compatibility. I feel like it's probably easier than what they're leaning on, but they'll make more money on saying, hey, you can only play specific games with backwards compatibility if you have, previous disc and all that stuff. Because I think what they're trying to do is make more money off of remasters and remakes, just selling you the game over and over again. Because that's how they're going to keep garnering money. Instead of letting people use their old disc to play old games, here, we'll resell it to you for $20. That's not a lot of money for a game. That's a pretty decent price. Especially if we feel a little nostalgic on older games. I'm willing to pay $20. I played Resident Evil 4 on PS2, PS3, and PS4. And then I was thinking about getting it for the Switch. You don't. People like me out there, which I'm part of the problem, they're going to keep releasing remasters and remakes and stuff like that, which is still a good thing because a lot of people want to play old games. But that means they're just going to there's no point of backwards compatibility. If they're just able to sell us these same games over and over again, and it's no sense of having backwards compatibility in the future. I know people are going to keep asking for it, but they're just not going to, this is why they're half-assing it, basically, like specific games. But yeah, that's it on the PS5. Pre-order start tomorrow. $4.99 for the standard, $3.99 for just the digital. If you can, try to cop one of those. I'm gonna try. If I might try both. I don't know. I might be crazy. And then if I get one, just stop the pre-order on another one. Just get my money back or something like that. I'm gonna try to get both. The more appealing one is the $3.99, but I think I'm gonna just go for the $4.99 one. And we'll just roll from with it there. It's the same thing. It's just disc or no disc. I think I'm gonna still probably get some physical disc or something. But we are moving to the digital age. Let's move on to the next one. Now, Xbox. Ooh, man. Okay, so Xbox, I think they did really good with their announcements last week, which basically all they just said was, hey, we're going to release two systems. It got leaked. We are releasing two systems and releasing one at $4.99. $4.99, which is going to compete with the standard PS5. And then we're going to release one at $2.99. $2.99 is going to be a weaker version, but it's still next gen for $2.99. Now, that's where I think things are more interesting. Just to go into the whole comparison with the four systems, I want to say the $3.99 PS5 is the most appealing and attractive option out of all of them. But that $2.99 Xbox, that's a good deal. But I'm gonna get started with the $4.99 one. So basically, the $4.99 Xbox is a very powerful system. Hold on, I'm about to bring it up here. for you people. It's a very powerful system. It's probably a little bit more powerful than the PS5, if we're being honest. I'm not a techie dude, but it's probably a little bit more powerful. All right, so I got we're just gonna go through the specs just a little bit. So 12 teraflops, variable rate shading, hardware accelerated, DirectX ray tracing, and I thought ray tracing is going to be important for both the PS5 and the Xbox. Variable refresh rate, 120 FPS support, which is really good. Custom built SSD, quick resume for multiple games. 4 generations of gamer and smart delivery. All right, blah 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 blah. All right, so the Xbox $499. Clearly a super powerful system. If you want to read through the specs, you can. You probably guys don't really care about the specs either. I can't really explain much to you. I'm not a super techie person, once again. But this is going to be a really good system too. And they're redesigning the controller, just like the PS5. And that's basically it. To be honest, the Xbox, it's the $499 is a good option too. I don't know if it's. I think it's based off of preference now. When you compare it to the PS5, do you want Xbox or do you want PS5? It's almost like I'm gonna use this comparison again. It's almost like Android or Apple. It's just all dependent on what you want. There's going to be a debate on which one is better, what you can do, what each one can get. But it's just like, all right, at this point, which one do you want? Do you want the Xbox or do you want the PS5? It's all down to preference, I think, to both. Only thing I can say is with the Xbox Giant or just the Xbox next generation in general, they don't have too many good exclusives. I don't really want to look them up because it's just like, what is there important? Like, I mean, Sony has Ratchet and Clank. I could just say Ratchet and Clank, and it kind of beats out almost every exclusive that Xbox has on launching with the next gen. So, I mean, if you guys want to look that up, feel free to do so. But I don't think you guys really care about the Xbox as much as you do. Like, I do want to relay that information, but it's like they really got to step up their exclusives. Like, I think the most popular exclusive they got is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice 2. Like, on the exclusive side, on the game side, like specifically for Xbox, it's nothing really stand out there besides Hellblade. So, I mean, if anything, what they got going for them is Xbox Games Pass, which is essentially if you ever had, it's basically a streaming service for video games where you can just have access to a whole bunch of games. It kind of like it's just basically streaming for games like the Google Stadia, which is the same thing too. And I think that's their best selling point for both the systems, because they're having a bundle with both systems. The large system of the Xbox Giant, if you get the payment plan, which is a really good deal for both systems, you get the payment plan, $35 a month for I think like 18 months. You're gonna get, of course, the Xbox Giant with Xbox Game Pass. So you'll have games to play. Might not necessarily be next gen, but you'll have games to play essentially through payment plan, and you'll have a system. So that's actually a pretty good selling point. If you're not interested in any of the next games, oh no, I think that's a bot or something, but thank you. Good luck. Can I get a kiss? Hell no. I don't know what that is. All right, but that threw me off so much. So Xbox Game Pass with the Xbox Game Pass with the actual system. It might not have, Xbox might not have any games, but you get Game Pass. You can play a bunch of games. That's a really sweet ass deal. That's a sweet ass deal. You know, you ain't gonna have no next gen games, but at least you get to only pay $35 a month, and then I guess if you want to cancel or something, you can take it back. But you'll have games with it too. You'll have whatever's in the Xbox game library. I mean, the last couple of years, Xbox still haven't had many good exclusives, but you know, it's still a good deal, especially with the Xbox Series X now. I think that's a little bit of the better deal with the Game Pass because $25 a month, and of course you're going to get the Game Pass with all the games, but it's all digital too, and that's why I say it's a better deal because now you don't have the physical disc, you don't need any discs, and you're getting the Game Pass. So essentially, if you just want to step in the next gen, and of course a lot of people is going to do all digital, you just get the Xbox Series X, and then you get it with the Game Pass if you get the payment plan for $25 a month, and you're basically set. You're set for like the next 2 years if you don't want to buy any games. And of course, it's not as powerful as the Xbox Series X, so you're going to be playing whatever's in their library anyways, and it's going to be mostly current gen and older games. Why not get the Xbox Series X? You can say you have a next gen console for $300, and you're not looking to step into getting any new games because Xbox don't have any big exclusives anyways. And you're basically in there. You're in the ecosystem. Now, my argument for the $299 as a really, really good deal in general, as in its own entity, is just for like the long-term idea, is essentially I think what's happening is hopefully this happens more in the future for like future generations, is we're going to get budget systems. And I think that's very, very important and I think that's why I think Xbox did a good move with having one you get flat out everything, and having one you get a little bit of caveats to it, or you're missing some stuff. Because okay, I have an iPhone SE. This phone has a lot of stuff missing with it compared to the iPhone 11 Pro Max. That's the best of the best. It's the best iPhone you can get, the iPhone Pro Max. You get everything with it. This one, you cut back on a lot of stuff. But it's also, I got this at $399. The Xbox Pro Max is $1,200? $399, $1,200. Now, I've been an Android person all my life, and there's only one feature I wanted on this phone to have, was basically FaceTime. I don't have to get an iPhone Pro Max just to have FaceTime. You see, Apple did the smart thing. Whoops, about to drop my phone. Apple did the smart thing, just release a smaller budget phone where they can cut back on a lot of stuff and sell it at a decent price, and people are going to eat it up because they I think it's still funny that Xbox is like, we're going to reduce load time greatly, our groundbreaking SSD technology. I'm like, you mean the same thing, our PCs? Oh, yeah. You see, okay, well, we're not going to bash Xbox too much. They just don't have any games. So, I mean, essentially just with the PS5, they're going to try to be reducing load time too. But the Xbox is good. It's good. I mean, look, if anything, if you want to bring up the PC argument, why people are so pressed for all of this stuff when they can just build the PC and then have the best gaming experience ever? Of course, that's going to cost money. But even a mid-tier to high PC for I would just say a mid-tier PC for $1,000. Okay, we pay that much for phones anyways, but you spend a little $1,000, a little over $1,000, and bam, your games are already running and looking better than what the PS4 has or any other system has, period. No console. But we're going to see how the Xbox Series X and the PS5 looks like in November, but I'm pretty sure PCs could still outdo them. But this is just like, all right, now for the PS5 and Xbox, we're moving into kind of that PC territory. We're still getting the cheaper prices, but they're trying to close that gap a little bit more. But of course, now that Nvidia dropped those 3070s, 3080s, 3090 line with their graphics card and stuff, they're trying to completely still blow out the consoles in the water and make PC gaming more appealing. But yeah, back to the Xbox Series S or the Xbox Mini. That's a really appealing price. Like I said, it's like trying to get into the Apple system. I got the iPhone SE just for one reason, to get FaceTime, but I also wanted to just see how the Apple ecosystem was. I think that's basically what the Xbox Series X is too. You're just trying to get into the Xbox ecosystem, especially if you've been on PlayStation for your whole life, and vice versa too. But this is just a cheaper version. It's literally a budget next gen phone. It's a budget next gen console, and I think we need more of these. Like, even if the PS5, let's say 3 or 4 years in, they release a budget version of the PS5, sell it at the same price, $299. But of course, there's going to be a lot of cutbacks. I think that's a really good thing to do, because one, you can reach out to more people anyways, because a lot of people just can't afford these high prices on these consoles. Even though you're just looking at $300, it just seems so high. Some people just don't have that financial situation, or if it's not their financial situation, some people just don't care about graphics, loading times, whatever, like experience. They just want to play a fun game, and if the game is fun, no matter how it looks like, then people are gonna, that's all they care about. If the game is not fun, you have all these crazy looking graphics, but you don't want to play the game anyway. So I think we need more budget systems. That's what I'm calling it. We need more budget systems in the future. That $299 price, that's really a good deal. I'm gonna try to do the pre-order next week. I think I might get the $299 one, just cause one is super cheap. Two, I'll still be playing next gen. I mean, it's not going to look as good. It's not going to run as fast as the large Xbox, but I'm still going to be playing the next gen games. And I mean, that's essentially it. I mean, that's all we're doing is playing next gen games. I probably won't be streaming anything, but I'll just stream it through my TV because it's 4K. But I'll still be on that next gen train. It's just a little bit of cutbacks, and I don't think that's a problem. I think there's just some people out there who just need cutbacks or want cutbacks, but still have that same experience or close to a good experience that the higher end products of that same whatever company have. It's just cutbacks. That's all it is. It's just cutbacks, and I think I want to see more of this in the future. $299. I mean, you have 4 systems coming out, but you have 3 different price tags: $299, $499, and $599. Of course, you get the $599 from both systems. I said $599, $499 for both systems. You're getting the best of the best. $499, you're getting a cutback of just optical drive. You're not going to be able to use physical stuff. The $299, you're getting a cutback on graphics and performance a little bit, but you still get to stream 4K right now. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Your games are still going to look good. It's probably going to be looking good as the current generation anyway, so if you've been playing with that, it's not going to be no different. But you'll still be having access to the next gen game. And that's, it's a more appealing option, because if you don't have the money, boom, you can afford that. So I think that's a really good price too. Like, I personally think, well, the $399 of the PS5 is the best price, but I think this is the second best price, just because it's $299, just because it's a budget system, and just because you'll still have access to next gen. And not only that, if you get Xbox Game Pass, you already have a bunch of games with it, and you have a payment plan on it. That's Xbox really did do really good too on their end, and that's. I'm gonna try to get both. Maybe, I don't know. I'll probably just try to push to get that $299 during the pre-order, and I don't know. I might try to look into the $499 in the future. We'll see when we get there. I know closer, I'm probably just gonna try to jump on the $499 train. But yeah, so you got your Xbox, You got your PlayStation 5. You know the prices. Now, interesting thing that was coming out these last couple of weeks was uh, the Nintendo Switch. Since I'm about to go quick on this, the Nintendo Switch might have a pro version coming out in 2021, and they're kind of saying it's gonna have 4K. That's all they're saying. It's just 4K with it, or 4K scaling, and it's probably gonna have extra to it if it's true. But the most important thing is 4K scaling. So I think what Nintendo's trying to do here is trying to just simply catch up in the graphics and I guess performance department. They're just trying to catch up to the PS5 or the PlayStation and Xbox, not the PS5, but the PlayStation and Xbox. And it's interesting that they're taking the upgrading graphics route. Like a lot, what makes Nintendo is accessible for everybody. It's vibrant, it's colorful, it's cartoonish. That's all Nintendo is, and you don't need 4K to do that. Of course you need a good resolution, but 1080p, like, you can still rock out with 1080p for like years and years with Xbox style of game, and then nobody's gonna care, or at least Nintendo wise, nobody's gonna care. Like, if we do 4K, we're gonna see Mario. We're gonna basically be counting the hairs in Mario and Luigi's mustaches. Is that really that important to have those styles of graphics with the Switch or with Nintendo console? It's gonna be a weird move. It's interesting. I mean, I'm glad they're gonna try to upgrade their systems. But one, I think a big thing is, if this is a Switch Pro, I don't think it can be for a true 4K, because if you're still gonna have the portable side to it, it's gonna be hard to push those specs in the portable side, and in comparison to the actual the dock mode through the TV. Like, it's gonna be two different hardwares. I mean, the only way I can guess they do that is if they actually build it in the dock, and then have maybe like another piece inside the system where it'll be still crisp and clean between both the TV and the actual portable version. But I think it's going to be hard, because I mean, it would just have to be through the dock. I don't see them actually put in the system unless it's going to be bigger and thicker. But the whole point of the Switch is you can play it on the TV and you can have the portability. And making that system bigger is going to be making it much harder to bring it around and log it around. I don't think Nintendo wants to do that. But they're probably going to look into a resolution bump if they are having a Switch Pro. Maybe internal specs is going to be a little bit higher. I mean, not internal specs, memory is going to be a little bit higher in the system. But I think that's all of the Pro is going to be. Just better resolution, not 4K. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it might be 1440p, like the Xbox Series X or the Xbox Mini. But I don't think they can do 4K. It's going to be really hard unless they entirely built a new system, like from the ground up. So that's just an interesting little tidbit with Nintendo. And I don't think they really need to play catch up anyways. Like, they have a specific brand, like I was talking about. They don't need to be doing hyper styled Oscar winning looking games. They need to stick to what they're doing, because clearly it's selling. It's really selling. I mean, they can come out with an extra version, a pro version, but what they're doing now, what they've been doing since the beginning of years, or whenever Nintendo started, has been working. Mario and Zelda has been selling for years. It's going to continue to sell. So I don't think they really need a pro to try to push out those games. They're always going to break records. I mean, Breath of the Wild is one of the greatest games ever. Almost every other game of Mario is going to be one of the greatest games ever. They don't need graphics. They just need to keep making good games. And plus, Just a little extra thing before I get off on that one. They'll need those type of graphics anyways, those 4K styles of graphics, because I think it's gonna, well, the big companies, it probably can do it, but the smaller companies, I mean, it won't affect them, but that's an indie ground place. Like, that's an indie ground playground. Like, that's, like, I think the best, if you're an independent developer, I think you should go to Nintendo, or you push for Nintendo first before you go into other systems, because that's just like the perfect spot, because most indie games are just like pixels or just lower cartoony graphics anyways. So what no better place than to have it on the Nintendo Switch. And you know, you don't need 4K graphics for pixelated stuff. You don't need 4K graphics for cell shading. You don't need 4K graphics for cartoon hand-drawn style, like maybe Cuphead. You don't need 4K graphics for like that. You just need a good resolution. Good resolution, like 1080p, 60 frames per second. That's all you need. If you can push out 60 frames per second and maybe add in 120 hertz. 120 hertz is good with the frame rate. Make every game look buttery smooth. You know, you'll be good. I think you'll be good. But that's just a little bit on that. And shoot, it's been almost an hour already. Well, I think that's it. The PS5 drop. I keep saying that the PS5 got revealed with their price today and their release date. $499 for the standard edition. $399 for the digital edition Xbox. $499 for the regular edition. $299 for the digital less compact edition. And then I'm gonna just throw out the Switch because I like it. $299 for the Switch if you still want to get that, if they have it sold. So yeah, those are 4 good prices for what they're giving you. PS5 pre-orders start in a couple hours. I mean, they said tomorrow. That's in 3 hours Eastern time. So if you got the money, if you ready to hop on it, be prepared for that. I'm probably posting this video on YouTube, so you know, don't listen to me. If you're watching on YouTube, it's probably gonna be later then, or you probably still have access to the pre-order. Pre-orders for the Xbox Series X and S, or aka the Giant and the Mini. Their pre-orders are starting September 22nd, so that's in 6 days. That's not too far behind PS5. So in the span of 5 days, you're probably going to be spending almost $1. I mean, it's $1,000. So just be prepared for that. If you're getting both, if you're not, you know, you have 5 days to decide to both. You have this tomorrow to decide for both, because it's going to be limited units. So I was saying, if you want to hop on it now, hop on it now. I think at launch it's going to be even crazier. People scrambling to Best Buy, Walmart, Target, GameStop, if it still exists by that time. And it's going to be just hard to go into the store and get it. And I'm guessing at launch, hopefully they're going to be restocked online. And then if not, I'm thinking around close to Christmas time, maybe even on Christmas, they're going to restock online with these units, because I'm sure as hell, even the Xbox, even the Series X, I think all of them are just going to sell out. One, because they have a limited number of units. Two, I think it's just a high demand. I think a lot of people are more excited for this round of next generation consoles. So yeah, I think it was it for today. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, follow. I guess following is subscribing. So yeah, you can do that. Follow me on social media at DK1Star on both Instagram and Twitter. Follow me on Twitch at DK1Star. And I'll be streaming. I'm trying to get into streaming way more. Like, I'm in streaming. I've been doing it every week, but I'm trying to do it at least a couple of times a week. And hopefully my settings are better. And hopefully you guys can give me some feedback too. I really need you guys' feedback on if my information is good enough, if I have to be more lively, or music too loud, my settings are good. Just make sure you guys give me some feedback. I'm listening, I'm commenting. I want to hear what you guys want to say. And I think that's going to be it for the day. Also, shout out to Imani Monique Incorporated. She has a new show out. Just want to give her a quick shout out. I think it premiered at 8 o'clock today. Spelled YouTube wrong, but it's all good. Premiered at 8 o'clock today. And let's see if we can find their channel real quick. Dang. I wish this was in order now. Wait, hold on. If I'm subscribed to them. Hold up, people. Hold up. That's my man's. I gotta give her a quick shout out real quick. Dang, she said 8 o'clock. I'm pretty sure I subscribed. Interesting. I guess they didn't really. I guess they didn't drop today, but just follow her at Imani Monique Inc. and she'll let you know more about it. So that's all. This is K1 Star. This is StarCast episode 3. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please give me feedback. I'm always listening. I'm always learning. Trust me, I feel like I always need to do better. Plus, this is my first couple of videos, so it's not going to be perfect. But probably will be streaming tomorrow. Maybe early in the morning. Cause I got work at night anyways, and I'll probably be doing Hades. I think I'm gonna stream Hades tomorrow or Rogue Legacy 2. Then next time I'm gonna stream is probably Sunday night if I don't do it Saturday morning. Sunday night we're gonna do Tell Me Why Chapter 2. So stick around for that. Tell Me Why Chapter 1 is probably going to be 6-7 parts. That'll be going up on YouTube soon. So please check those out. I'm going to be posting some Let's Plays from Twitch onto YouTube. So, if you can't catch it here, it's going to be on there. So I'm glad you guys tuned in. This is your host K1 Star, and I'm shining out. Thanks for coming.